I don't know why, but for some reason, I still haven't rebuilt the Carolina Panthers with Bryce Young. So today, we're gonna do that, me and the GOAT, Mikey McDingle, and we're gonna try to make this the dynasty that I think it could be. But super quick, massive shout out to Jaden Stribling for the suggestion of today's video. Go drop him a sub, their link is in the description. And as always, if you want a shout out just like that one, all you gotta do is let me know what team to do next. And then of course, when I pick your comment, I'll give you a shout out, rebuild the team you want me to, and it helps me know what y'all want to see, so it's a win-win-win. But we very easily hit the like goal on the last video that I thought was a little crazy. At least I'm assuming we hit it because y'all are goated and we're very much on pace to hit it. I'm just recording this right after the last rebuild. So let's set an even crazier one, but a very doable one. Let's see if we can get to 250 likes, and if we can hit that, I'll have another special rebuild out on Thursday. We used to easily be able to hit that all the time, so if you right now like the video, we'll easily hit it. It helps push these videos to more people, so I would very much appreciate it. And also, thank you for 3.2K. We blew past that already. So even though we're only like 30 away, let's see if we can get to 3250. We might even be close by the time this video goes out, but it'll make you an OG of the channel while you still can be. We're growing very quickly again, so thank you so much for that. And plus, it'll help you see more videos like this because rebuilds are all I do, and I'm glad y'all enjoy them so much. But that's enough plugging. I'm excited to talk about this team because I really love what they've done this offseason. So of course, get your drinks, get your snacks, get whatever. And let me tell you what I think about this Panthers team. So I've done the Panthers recently. Pause, that's not really what I meant to say. I've rebuilt the Panthers fairly recently, so I've already talked about a lot of the free agent signings they've made. I don't think there's really anything new there, but I was still a little hesitant about this team's offseason because obviously they had traded up for the #1 overall pick. I didn't know what they were going to do with that pick because they gave up a lot to do it, but they did do exactly what I thought they should do, and that is take Bryce Young. I thought he was the clear best quarterback in the class. I thought CJ Stroud was good, but I didn't think he had the upside that Bryce Young could have. Bryce Young has top 5 upside. People always point to his height being a super big problem. He's actually good over the middle of the field though, which is the main concern for most short quarterbacks, but he really doesn't have that. The only weakness to his game is just not being in the game. It's his durability. He's a very small quarterback, obviously. With most short quarterbacks, they typically put on weight like a Russell Wilson type, but he's very small. I don't know what he's at right now. I have him at 190 here, so that's probably what he's at in real life or close to there. That's pretty small. So if he can hold up in the NFL, I think he will be a stud. And I guess I'll talk about a little bit of what this team did during the offseason. I think you did everything right for bringing in a young QB. You really just threw a million wide receivers at the wall, and you're trying to see what sticks. That's a weird way to work in that analogy here. I really tried my best. You just signed a ton of receivers and drafted one really high is what I'm trying to say. You added Adam Thielen, DJ Chark, Damiere Byrd, I guess. I guess you didn't add too many, but you did add quite a few. And then Jonathan Mingo through the draft, who isn't even listed here, but I'll get him playing. We'll see. I think it was a bit overkill, and I thought the Jonathan Mingo pick was kind of eh. I mean, nothing against him, but it was a little early for him, and I think you have enough young receivers here, but he could be really good. We'll see. And then I like that you added a decent tight end in Hayden Hurst. I think a tight end is a young quarterback's best friend. It's kind of their safety net, if they're in trouble. Hey, just check down to the tight end. Look for the tight end. And if you didn't sign Hayden Hurst, the group wasn't great, so I definitely like that you added him. Your offensive line is definitely solid. I like that you drafted Chandler Zavala. I think he should start. Brady Christensen, I don't love him at guard. I think he would be a much better tackle, but there just isn't really a place for him to play tackle here. And you added Miles Sanders. I said I wasn't going to talk about this team's free agent moves, but I guess that's what I'm doing. I like the addition of him. The rest of their draft outside of the Bryce Young pick and I guess the Chandler Zavala pick was a little questionable. I didn't love DJ Johnson. He's a fine enough player. He's just an older prospect. He could become a really good player, but he's already old. He has a lot of upside upside, but I think he's 25 in real life. It's going to be hard for him to hit that upside, but we'll see. You never know. Overall, the defense is looking very good, but if one of your key players like Derek Brown or Brian Burns get hurt, or JC Horn, it's really not looking too great. I mean, you don't have amazing depth here, honestly. You have like a million safeties. You're good there, but just more so everywhere else, you don't really have great depth. But for Madden, we won't have to worry about that. We don't have injuries here, so we're chilling. We're just going to try to upgrade these younger players and turn this into a powerhouse, like I think we can. So with that, that's enough talking about the team. I've talked way too much about this team already. Let's get into the rebuild, and with that, I'll see y'all at the midseason point of year number 1. Okay, well, the Panthers are typically one of the best, like, simulation teams in this game, but of course that changes when I use them. We're 2-5 at the midseason point of year 1. What's happening? I'm guessing Bryce Young is struggling, which, well, no, not really at all. So I don't really know what the problem is then. Oh, I found the problem. Our offensive line sucks. Although Austin Corbett is on pace to make the all-castration team. No sacks allowed. Our defense looks like it's doing... Ooh, we have 3 total interceptions, so I think I found the 2 problems, but it's just year 1. Who cares? We'll build the team from here, and we could rebound even this year. You never know. But we have some upgrades here. 2 for Bryce Young already, and Jonathan Mingo. Damn, +4 man for Dante Jackson. So definitely not the start that we wanted, but again, it's just year 1. But for re-signings here, there isn't really anybody we really want back. I guess maybe either Eddie Pinheiro or Bradley Bozeman, but we'll reassess at the end of the year. We might not re-sign either. We might re-sign both. I don't know. But with that, let's get to the end of year 1, and hopefully we can finish a little stronger than this. So at the end of year number 1, we definitely did not get the results we were hoping for, as we finished 7-10. It looks like we were the only team in our division to miss the playoffs. Damn, Madden's just trolling me at this point. But let's check out some of the season stats. So Bryce Young as a rookie, 5,100 yards, 37 touchdowns, but 19 picks? Ooh. Everything else was really good. I mean, good completion percentage, literally good everything else, but the picks were really bad. Rushing, Miles Sanders wasn't great, did reach 1,000 yards, but only 3.8 yards per carry, 10 touchdowns. Fine enough year from him, I guess. Laviska Shenault was our leading receiver with 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. Terrace Marshall also 1,000 yards with 7 touchdowns. Oh yeah, this scheme still acts like Christian McCaffrey's here. I'm having a fucking hard time speaking apparently, but Miles Sanders is the new Christian McCaffrey apparently with 948 yards, 6 touchdowns. Could be up there for offensive player of the year. I mean, he reached 2,000 total yards, which is kind of crazy. Jonathan Mingo as a rookie, almost 800 yards. Hayden Hurst, almost 800 yards. So good receiving season. Also, I didn't start Adam Thielen just because he's older and we have so many young receivers. I want to try to develop some of them. So we'll see how that goes. Blocking actually finished out pretty strong. Bradley Bozeman was good. Iquanu finished not too bad at all. And Austin Corbett does join the all-castration team. You love to see it. On defense, Shaq Thompson led the team with 142 tackles. Frankie Louvu, Washington State legend, with 104. I literally barely remember him at Washington State, but he's been pretty good for the Panthers, so I don't know. Derek Brown led the team with 22 tackles for loss. Brian Burns with 14 sacks. Not many. Wait. Okay, Derek Brown was our leading sack getter with 9.5. Brian Burns with 4.5. I switched to the Panthers defense, or the Broncos defensive playbook, because obviously they run a 3-4 now, and they hired the Broncos defensive coordinator from last year, so I was hoping it would be good, but apparently not. Shai Tuttle with 4.5 sacks too. You know it's not great when Shai Tuttle's getting as many sacks as Brian Burns. And then Yetur Gross-Matos with 2.5 sacks as a starting edge. You love to see it. In interceptions, 4 for JC Horn, and then 2 for CJ Henderson, Jeremy Chin, and Von Bell. Interesting season. That's all I can really say. MVP goes to Josh Allen. CJ Stroud actually up there at number 10. No Bryce Young for like the first time ever. I literally always see him up here every single year in every single rebuild. But of course, as soon as we take over, he's just not up there. Who would have guessed? Cooper Kupp, the white boy, as always, wins Offensive Player of the Year. Miles Sanders at number 2. I didn't know he would be that high for Offensive Player of the Year. We'll definitely take it, though. Would have been crazy if he could have won it, though. Micah Parsons wins Defensive Player of the Year. Brandon Graham up there. That's interesting. No Panthers. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Bijan Robinson. Bryce Young at number 3, unfortunately. Was hoping he could win that, obviously, but unfortunately unfortunately does not for like the first time ever. And I guess technically Jack Campbell wins Defensive Rookie of the Year as per usual. No Panthers up here, so kind of a tough first season, but we'll definitely try to rebound next year. Let's get into the offseason and let's see if we can actually upgrade this team. I sure hope so, because that was kind of ugly. I think we had this exact same Super Bowl in year 1 of my last rebuild, and I think it was the same score but flipped. I think the Bills won like 27-20 or 27-21, but the Bills do lose to the Cowboys here 27-20. I remember saying it last time, these are two teams that have very good rosters. It's just something always happens and they don't make the Super Bowl, but you never know. Like I said, they both have very good teams. We'll see. We have an upgrade here for Shaq Thompson. Did I miss something? Oh, maybe he was like the NFL tackle leader or something. He does get superstar dev here. That's pretty nice. We'll definitely take that. And for re-signings, I guess I'll try to bring Bradley Bozeman back. He was good, but he's not going to develop really much higher than his overall is right now. He's pretty much going to stay as 75, 76 for the entirety of the rebuild, but if he'll take player friendly, I'm fine with it, and he doesn't. Okay, well, he played well, but higher overall players are more exciting anyways. It makes the team look better, even if half the time they play worse for whatever fucking reason. I'll never understand it. But in free agency, there really, as per usual, isn't much going on here. I do want to look for a center for sure, but I mean, really, there just isn't anybody here. I mean, we could go for Ethan Posick, but there's so many teams interested, and I'm pretty sure the Browns just straight up re-signed him for like a multi-year deal, so it wouldn't be realistic. So, you know, actually something I could do is sign a linebacker and put Frankie Louvu out to edge. I mean, that would kind of make sense. He is a good pass rusher, kind of a hybrid player. I might do that. What if we go for Leighton Vander Esch and then just move Frankie Louvu outside? It's going to be hard to get him though, but we'll try it. I always feel bad not doing anything year 1. It's just they're obviously never good players year 1 because it's just kind of the leftovers from real life's free agency. But let's see if Leighton Vander Esch does want to sign with us. Honestly, I kind of doubt it, but okay, no, he does not. And David Long signed with the Ravens. So pretend you never saw that, and let's get to the draft. So here in the draft, we do not actually have the number 11 overall pick. We need to trade that away because that was obviously in the number 1 overall pick trade along with DJ Moore and like a million other things. I'll get the picks right. Give me a second. All right, we gave our pick to the Bears. It looks like the Colts were really bad for some reason, even though they have a pretty good team. So I don't know. This game is confusing, but let's simulate to our first pick, which is of course in the 2nd round. We should have a 3rd round pick too. Why do we not have a 3rd round pick? I need to trade for whoever has our 1st round pick. We'll find out. But in the 2nd round, what do we want to do here? I literally have no idea. I never know what I want to do in the draft. I never know what I want to do in life in general. Oh. Well, this guy's ratings are like insane, but his speed and strength don't look that good. And he's kind of an awkward fit. He's definitely a 4-3 defensive end. This almost makes me want to switch back to a 4-3. I feel like we do fit a 4-3 a lot better regardless. So, I mean, I know the Panthers just switched to a 3-4, but we might just switch them right back, which I don't know if that's super realistic, but this is Mikey McDingle's team now, okay? Respect him. Thank you very much. So I think we're going to go Maurice Robinson. He's probably going to have normal dev, but he should be a good overall. I'm hoping at least like maybe a 75. We'll see. Let's take him. Okay, he does actually have hidden. It seems like whenever I predict a player to have normal, they have hidden. Whenever I think they should have hidden, they have normal. I just never know. But he looks pretty good. I feel like the Panthers have a million LSU players, so that's fitting. I don't even know if they actually do. I just feel like that, but that feels like a good pick, especially for the 2nd round. But speaking of the 3rd round, we need to get our pick back. Who has it? All right, we got our pick back. The Patriots had it? What was that for? Was that like the Stephon Gilmore trade or something? I don't know. It probably wasn't, but it could have been. In the 3rd round, I definitely wanted an off-ball linebacker, but there really isn't a good one here at all. This guy might be okay. I don't know if he's worth taking though. He's not super strong, but I don't really know what else to go with. We might go with a defensive tackle, Brandon Maggot. It's not very nice to call me that, but he looks like a decent player. He's really good play rec, but not great awareness. Good tackle, but not great pursuit or hit power, so I literally can't tell if he's good or not. To be honest, he might not be the best. Could also go Bobby Malone, who looks like a much better athlete athlete, even though he isn't nearly as strong. And he won't be a scheme fit, but he looks like he might be better. We'll just go Maggot because he is a scheme fit and he is obviously very strong. I don't even know if I showed that, but 43 reps at both the Combine and his pro day. Let's take him. Brandon Maggot, he's 6'2", 356, 21 years old out of Penn State. Pure nose tackle, which I guess we don't really need, but it's Madden. Who cares? He's a defensive tackle. Okay, he does have hidden dev. I was kind of worried he wouldn't, but we're 2 for 2 so far on hidden dev. I feel like there's just a massive need we have that I'm just completely forgetting. Oh yeah, center. Okay. I am glad I checked. I mean, I guess I could have put Chandler Zavala there and then Christensen back at guard, but still, I'd rather draft one. Oh, there isn't a good one. Of course not. All right, well, we will figure something out at center because none of the centers here look even decent. There might be a good lineman somewhere, but I ain't seeing it. So I guess with that, let's just go with the linebacker. I was thinking might be okay. It doesn't really look that good, but my guess is a 65 overall normal dev. Normal dev will confirm. It's kind of turned into a fun guessing game of just how well do I know drafted players. We'll find out. All right, so all things considered, we had a really good draft. Maurice Robinson is a 74 overall. I thought he would be around a 75, so pretty good guess there, but decent athlete for sure. 79 speed, 84 strength, better than I thought he would be. Good power moves, solid tackle. Definitely looking like a good pick, especially considering he wasn't a first round pick. He was our second round pick. Of course, he was our first pick, but definitely great value for the second round. And Brandon Maggot, another defensive lineman, is a 73 overall. Obviously no pass rush to his game, not fast, but good excel. Really good tackling, obviously really good strength. Nice player there. And then goes a little downhill. Angelo Cloud is worse than I thought he would even be. I did take a few linemen. Neither of them are really that good at all. I did take every pick here. Some of them definitely better than others, but I think every player here will at least make the team. And I think we got 2 starters this year out of the draft, so I'm pretty happy with that. And with that, let's get into year number 2. Here we're gonna be trading Matt Corral to the Raiders for a 4th round pick. I'm kind of surprised they didn't trade him during the draft or anything, or just haven't traded him yet. I really liked him coming out of Ole Miss, but obviously like every quarterback fell in that draft, and I don't know, just was a really weird draft in general. So maybe he'll get an opportunity here with the Raiders, we'll see, but obviously won't get one here with us having Bryce Young. I feel like a 4th is fair enough return. Probably could have gotten more if he got drafted higher, but I can't wait to see him win MVP with the Raiders here. That'll be super fun. Here's a look at the offense going into year number 2 of the rebuild. Obviously no major changes here. Did move Chandler Zavala back to center and Brady Christensen back inside to guard because we obviously did lose Bradley Bozeman, but I think it'll be fine. And that's the only change here. I mean, we have Bryce Young developing pretty well. We definitely do need a tight end soon. Hayden Hurst is down to a 73. And then on defense, not many changes here either. The only starter different here is Maurice Robinson. I did kind of transform him into more of a 3-4 defensive end. I just made him bigger. I made him a little slower, but made him stronger. But obviously I kept him the same overall. So we'll see how he works out in year number 1. Other than that, I mean, no differences here. I might start Brandon Maggot at defensive end, but I'm kind of undecided. I mean, he's only a 69 base overall at defensive end, which nice, but that's definitely not great. So I think we'll just rock with the team how it is and just kind of hope things play out better this year. So with that, let's get to the midseason point of year number 2 and let's see how we can do. All right, so at the midseason point of year number 2, we are 3-4, which is better, but obviously by this point we want to have a winning record, and we have, it looks like, a good amount of re-signings to make here. Most of our good players are here. Well, how's Brian Burns doing so far this year? Not good at all. Sometimes he does really well in this game, and then other times he's just terrible. I mean, I guess we'll re-sign him because he is a good overall, but hopefully he plays much better than he currently is. 6 years, 91.2 mil. Nice. And he takes it. Okay. Don't know how I feel about that, but hopefully he plays better. Shaq Thompson obviously got the superstar dev last year. 4 years, 38 mil. Honestly sounds like a good deal. We could even go player friendly, 5 years, 55 mil, because he's not like super interested, but let's see if he takes that, and he does. Laviska Shenault was obviously really nice last year, is on pace to have over 1,000 yards once again. I want to try to bring him back. I like him a lot in real life. Hopefully we can sign someone better, but could be a good number 2. 5 years, 59.5 mil. Let's see if he takes this, and he does. Had to go very player friendly, but I think it was worth it. Jeremy Chin, another contract. We'll try player friendly. 4 years, 32.4 mil. Sounds like a good deal to me. He resigns. Frankie Louvu. Honestly, he's already 26. He's not interested. We'll hold off. If he becomes more interested by the end of the year, we'll re-sign him, but for now we're good. And CJ Henderson, he's really cheap. 5 years, 25 mil. Sure, he takes it. And that's all we can re-sign for now. I did cut Taylor Moton and re-signed him because he was very expensive. It saved a ton of money to do that, so we'll have to re-sign him later. But everyone else, we're good for now. I guess we can only re-sign one more right here, but I'm not too worried about getting the rest of these guys back at the end of the year. But speaking of the end of the year, let's simulate there, and hopefully we can finish strong. Okay, so it's no longer night. I can be loud again, but here's a look at the team at the end of year number 2. I think y'all know what that means. Of course, like, subscribe if you haven't already. Both of those help out a ton. 250 likes, 3250 subs. We might even be past that by the time this video goes up. I don't know, but be sure to do both of them. And also, let me know what team to do next for a shout out whenever I pick your comment. Oh, wait, I hadn't even checked that yet. Maurice Robinson has X Factor. I was wondering why he got so much development. He went up 4 overall from just this year alone. That's why he looks like a monster already, so that's pretty massive. Definitely love to see that. Don't know what Maggot's dev trade is, but it's probably just Star. He did go up 2 overall or 3 overall throughout the year, so maybe it's better than Star. I don't know. But as most of y'all figured, in year number 2, we did make the playoffs, going 8-9. That might be the worst record I've ever had to make the playoffs, but we'll definitely take it. Let's see what happened this year. So Bryce Young was decent. 4,300 yards, 38 touchdowns, 12 picks. Definitely better than last year, but not as good as I have seen him play, of course. You know, that'll happen whenever I use the team, because this game hates me. I think this game just hates whoever, like, users the team. I feel like teams always perform better when it's just the CPU. You know what I mean? Maybe that's just me, though. I don't know. Rushing, Miles Sanders, almost 1,300 yards, 4.1 yards per carry, 9 touchdowns. Good season, meh yards per carry, just got a ton of carries, but did get a good amount of yards, so we'll take it. Laviska Shenault was our number 1 receiver, our only receiver with over 1,000 yards, 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns. Terrace Marshall, 800 yards, 10 touchdowns. Mingo with 700 yards, 7 touchdowns. Sanders with 600 yards. Hayden Hurst, almost 600 yards, 6 touchdowns. Lots of different receivers being used there. In blocking, well, Taylor Moton and Brady Christensen were really good, but the other 3 definitely weren't super great. Shaq Thompson led the team with 131 tackles. Tackles for loss, we had 13 from Burns, 11 from Yetur Gross-Matos, 10 from Derek Brown. In sacks, Brian Burns finished with 11, so hey, maybe all he needed was to be paid. I don't know. Someone else did that in my last rebuild, I think it was. Like, they were terrible, like way underperforming, and then I just re-signed them and then they were fixed. I can't remember who it was, but normally that's like the opposite of how it works. Players play better because they know they want to get paid. But whoever said Madden was realistic, right? 7.5 sacks for Derek Brown, 5.5 for Maurice Robinson as a rookie. That's a fine season. Only 3 from Yetur Gross-Matos. We definitely want a replacement there. In interceptions, 4 from JC Horn. I didn't even point out that he did get superstar dev last year, so definitely love to see that. And then 2 for Von Bell, 2 for Jeremy Chin, and then 1 for a few players. So overall, decent season. I'm surprised we barely made the playoffs. It looked like a pretty good team, but Dak Prescott wins MVP here. That's definitely interesting. CJ Stroud up there. The Texans also went 8-9, but of course, when we use Bryce Young, CJ Stroud outperforms him. Teddy Bridgewater on the Falcons up there. That's fun. Offensive player of the year goes to the white boy Cooper Kupp, as per usual, for whatever reason. Miles Sanders at number 8. Defensive player of the year goes to Micah Parsons once again. Didn't he win it last year? Good lord, dude. No Panthers up here, I don't think. That's not super surprising. And then offensive rookie of the year goes to Lionel Archibald. That's a goofy fucking name. Any Panthers up here? No, I don't know if we had anyone in contention. And defensive rookie of the year goes to Antoine McDaniels of the Seahawks. Another Seahawk at number 2. Maurice Robinson at number 7. No other Panthers. So fine enough here, I guess. Wish we did better, but we have a playoff game here, of course. I think we're just going to simulate this out because it is only year number 2. I only only like to jump in if it's, you know, year 3 or 4. But we have a first of many scenario. Always got to play it cool. I could go guarantee win because these playoffs don't really matter. I mean, we don't expect to go far here, but knowing Madden, this is probably the year we will go far at 8 and 9. But let's simulate the week and see if we can get a win somehow. Of course we do. Why wouldn't we? We beat the Falcons 28-21. I'm surprised we didn't get a playoff rival scenario, but whatever. That would have been nice to get like extra XP or whatever it gives you, but it is what it is. And we're going to be taking on the 13-4 San Francisco 49ers, so we'll see how this goes. But let's simulate it out and see if we can get to the conference championship. We don't necessarily deserve it with the team, but no, okay. So the 49ers don't have to make a million excuses like they typically do when they lose a playoff game. And we are unfortunately out of the playoffs, but it's only year 2 and we were 8 and 9. So let's get into the off season and let's hopefully actually make this team good. Ooh, a Super Bowl rematch. The 49ers beat the Ravens 21-12. I was blanking on what that team was called. I need to not record these right after I wake up. Jesus Christ. But the 49ers win 21-12, which is a weird score. Didn't they play in 2012? Maybe it's 2013, but it might have been the 2012 season. I don't know. Either way, 49ers win the Super Bowl. Definitely an interesting one. And I think we're going to have a lot of re-signings here. Okay, Frankie Louvu is still not interested. Yeturgros Matos has been really bad. Shai Tuttle, we could find a replacement. We might already have one on the roster with Brandon, what was his last name? Maggot or something. Taylor Moton, I definitely want back. He probably only played well because he needs a contract, but ooh, that's really expensive. Is there anyone else we need to re-sign? Just a kicker and a punter. So no, not really. Well, hold on. Let's offer Taylor Moton neutral, 3 years, 51.9 mil. Okay, he takes it anyways. That's fine. If he didn't take that, I would have tagged him and then waited for him to regress so I could maybe get him for cheaper next year, but that contract works too. Blake Gillikin, the GOAT, bring him back. I don't even know what team he's on now. I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't know kickers and punters very well. Eddie Pinheiro resigns too. Cool. Blake Gillikin is on the Saints. Okay, and it looks like he always has been. So I don't know why I thought he was on the Browns or something, but it is what it is. I guess I'm a casual when it comes to kickers and punters, but I'm fine with that. Ooh, definitely a crazy free agent class. There are definitely some fun things we could do here because we have a ton of money to work with. Just out of curiosity, are there any cuts we could make? I doubt it, but there might be. We could cut Dante Jackson, I guess. Adam Thielen, I do think I am going to cut. There are actually some we can make. I mean, Adam Thielen's still a fine player, but here he's just not really going to do anything for us. I wanted to start the younger receivers. I think that makes sense. And then Xavier Woods is just a backup at this point. We have Jeremy Chin. We have Von Bell. I do think Xavier Woods is an underrated player, but we just don't need him here. Eric Rowe, that'll save us another 2.5 mil. Definitely. So now that honestly should be a decent amount of money to work with, but I'm thinking about Dante Jackson too. He hasn't been great. Only 5 total pass deflections and 1 total interception over the last 2 years. That's not amazing. We could trade him. That might be a better move. I don't know how Panthers fans feel about Dante Jackson, so they might not like this, but he definitely hasn't been amazing for us. All right, we're going to steal a 3rd and a 6th from the Raiders for Dante Jackson. I feel like that's a fitting team for him. I don't know why. I just kind of feel like every player, I could see them on the Raiders. I have no idea why, but it's easy to imagine a player on the Raiders for some reason. Maybe that's just me, but we're sending Dante Jackson to the Raiders. We're getting decent return. We do need to sign a corner now, but yeah, again, he just wasn't playing super well, so I think that makes sense. So this is the free agent class we're going to go for. We're going to go a little crazy here. We don't have the lead for anybody here except for Mike Evans, but we are tied for the lead for everybody else. It's going to be Nick Bosa, who I get a lot. Well, I don't as much anymore. I get him in probably every like 3rd or 4th rebuild at this point, so that's not too bad. Tristan Wirfs, I definitely get him a lot, but I think what we'll do is play him at left tackle, Ike Ekwonu at guard maybe, because I mean there were rumors of him playing guard when he got into the NFL, just didn't, I guess, and he definitely wasn't great at tackle for us this last year, so I think that makes sense, assuming we can get him, which we probably won't. We're also going to go for Mike Evans, a division rival, obviously, try and steal him away. I don't think I've ever gotten him in a rebuild, maybe like once ever, but we obviously need like a true number 1 receiver, and he could be that. And then Chidobe Awuzie to be kind of the Dante Jackson replacement and hopefully upgrade. Again, only tied for the lead with him, but we'll see if we can get any of these 4 players. Let's see if any of them sign. They all sign, hopefully at least one of the big ones, and then either Mike Mike Evans or Chidobe Awuzie. Okay, we get Tristan Wirfs and we get Mike Evans. I'm fine with that. I kind of wish we got more, but I'm fine with that group. We are definitely going to have more money to spend now because those players rejected us, so we're definitely not done here. Unless there's nobody good left, then we might be. All right, just double checking. There isn't anything I'm forgetting about, right? Oh yeah, we don't have Shai Tuttle anymore. Ooh, it looks like JC Horn and Brian Burns went up to X Factor, so now we have 3 X Factors on the defense. That's kind of crazy. So we do definitely have at least 3 or 4 holes on defense. Defensive end, linebacker, edge, and corner. And then on offense, we probably need a tight end, and then we'll move Aquanu inside, so we really only need a tight end on offense. There isn't really anybody at defensive end available in free agency. We'll just look to the draft for that, but here are the 3 players we are going to go for in free agency. It's going to be Hunter Henry, who we are only tied for the lead for, so no guarantees, but worst case scenario, we can just draft a tight end, like that'll work out fine. Jordan Brooks, who we do have the lead for, would be a nice number 2 linebacker, isn't too expensive here, is costing us like 8 mil per year, I would guess, so it's not too bad. And then Bryce Hall to be, I guess, our number 2 corner is a very underrated player, just, you know, doesn't get used in New York because they have 2 good outside corners already, so we'll bring him in here as a starter. But let's see if any of these 3 players do sign right off the bat. They all do, and we get Hunter Henry, we get Jordan Brooks, and we get Bryce Hall. This was a really nice free agent class, I'm not gonna lie. All right, well, here we are in the draft. Of course, even though we only went 8 and 9, we don't pick until late because we went pretty far in the playoffs, but the Rams have the number 1 overall pick here. What are they gonna do? They go with the QB. Okay, Derek Pearson. I'm sure he's great. Out of Jacksonville State, number 1 overall. Makes sense. But with our first round pick, number 25 overall, what do we want to do here? Who's even gonna be available here? That's the real question. Nobody is the answer. I mean, I guess let's go Carlos Overstreet because, I mean, that's our last real need other than edge, but there isn't a good edge available. He looks good. He'll probably be normal dev, but a decent overall. Really good play rec, tackle, solid power moves, all that. Good combine. 39 reps, was only 2nd at the combine, so that's interesting. 1st in broad jump for defensive ends. Okay. But Carlos Overstreet, 6'4", 307, 21 years old, out of Auburn. Let's take him. He does have hidden, so all I need to do to not get normal dev players is just predict that they have normal dev. Wearing no gloves or anything. That looks kind of cursed. Do they normally wear gloves? I don't know, but that definitely feels like a good pick. I guess we also had the defensive tackle we drafted last year, but he's like 360 pounds. I'm not playing him at defensive end. I really don't know what else to do here, I'm gonna be honest. Obviously we need an edge, like I was saying, but our scheme uses speed rusher, but Ed Spellman doesn't look very good, honestly. I think the best looking one is Desmond Edwards. Overall, okay ratings, but his finesse moves is bad. I wish that was much better. He did have a good combine though. He's strong. He's not super slow for a power guy. He's probably not going to be good though. So I don't know if I want to take him, but I don't really see anyone else that we even remotely need, to be honest. Oh, well. Ooh, no, he's terrible. Okay. Yeah, let's just go Desmond Edwards. He is 6'6", 265, 23 years old, left-handed just like me for real, out of Minnesota. Let's take him. Normal dev as I expected, but could be a decent overall. We'll see. Probably not, but hopefully. All right, well, we didn't have the best draft ever, but we certainly tried. Honestly, it wasn't too bad. Carlos Overstreet is a 73 overall, which is a little lower than I expected, but about what I expected. Really good strength, honestly good excel too, just not very fast. Not too much power to his game yet, but he could develop that if I want to develop him as a power rusher, which I might. And then Desmond Edwards is straight up terrible. I thought he would be a lot better than a 65, but apparently not. I thought he would be at least a 70, but his power moves just isn't good. So yeah, sucks to suck, I guess. And then I did take these next 2 picks, and then I simulated the rest, and the CPU just really loves 65 and 66 overall players, apparently. But Cameron Richards will be our, like, number 2 tight end, I guess. He's a 72 overall, really good speed for a tight end. Not as good of route running as I expected, but good speed, good catching stats, all that. And then James Schwartz, he was just kind of a flyer pick. I didn't think he would be any good because his run block is so bad, but he's actually not too bad at all. Just a really good pass blocker, so honestly might start because Chandler Zavala hasn't been super great. He's been fine, but not amazing. And then I don't know what the hell the CPU was doing. They just picked a ton of backups, which fair enough, but you couldn't find one good player with all those picks. I don't know. But here's a look at the team heading into year number 3 of the rebuild. Obviously some changes here during this offseason. I would say maybe the biggest one is the addition of Mike Evans to be our new wide receiver 1, wearing number 14. That's interesting. But yeah, now we finally have a wide receiver 1. What is he ranked in the NFL? He is the number 18 ranked receiver, so that's pretty good. We also added, I guess, another Buccaneer. I didn't even think about that. And Tristan Wirfs. Wait, yeah, I think we added him this offseason, right? I'm recording this later. Yeah, okay. So we'll see what he can do in year 1, and then we also added James Schwartz at center. He'll start for us because Chandler Zavala has been okay, I guess, but Schwartz does have a dev trait. He is younger, so we'll see what he can do. And then on defense, I guess we didn't do a whole lot. Well, we added Bryce Hall, Jordan Brooks, and Carlos Overstreet. If our defense still sucks this year, we'll definitely change the playbook, but we'll see. I'm really excited to see how this team can do. It's a very nice looking team already up to an 84 with an 88 overall offense. Our defense is only an 81, but it has a lot of younger players, and we're probably going to upgrade at edge next year, so we're looking pretty good. Let's get to the midseason point of year 3, and let's see how this team can do. Okay, at the midseason point of year number 3, we are 5-2, finally doing pretty well. Now, we are, of course, going to have some re-signings to make here. Who are we going to have? Okay, Derek Brown, Miles Sanders, Austin Corbett, Terrace Marshall, Von Bell. Good amount of starters, but I think we'll be okay. Derek Brown, we obviously want back. We can go, hopefully he takes this because it's 69 mil, but 4 years, 69.2 mil. We'll see if he takes it, and he does. Okay, nice. Now, Miles Sanders has been pretty good. He's not that expensive, though. 4 years, 27.2 mil. He takes it. Cool. Austin Corbett, how's he been doing this year? Because the first 2 years he's been kind of mid. Or no, wait, the first year he literally allowed 0 sacks. What am I talking about? But last year he wasn't great. This year he's not doing super great either. We'll still re-sign him because he's a good overall and he played really well the first year. He re-signs. Johnny Hecker we can probably worry about later. Terrace Marshall, he's not interested. If he was interested, I would definitely bring him back, but we could maybe sign a better receiver in free agency. I mean, he's been good. He's still only 24 out of 81 overall, but we could maybe find an upgrade there. And then Von Bell, I can't remember. How has he been doing? He's already 29. He's been pretty good, honestly. This year he's not doing super great. 0 pass deflections, 0 interceptions, only 15 tackles. Is he like a backup now? Am I crazy? I don't know. We'll wait there though. And then it's just all backups here, I believe. High-end backups, but we don't really need them for anything. So that's all we're gonna do for now. Let's get to the end of year number 3 and hopefully we can finish pretty strong. All right, well, once again, y'all know why we're here. Of course, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, all that good shit. 250 likes, 3250 subs, and I'll have another special one of these cooked up. But here's a look at the defense too. Unfortunately, I think all of our hidden dev players were just normal, or not normal, star. Yeah, Richards, Schwartz, and Carlos Overstreet. All of them were just star, but obviously still better than normal. But as y'all figured, in year number 3, we made the playoffs going 15-2. God damn. Okay. So now this is looking like the Panthers that I am used to seeing in Madden. Bryce Young was a stud, 5,000 yards, 42 touchdowns, 10 picks is a little high, but 73% completion percentage. Good lord. Rushing, Miles Sanders was good. He just got a shit ton of carries though, only 4 yards per carry. I mean, almost 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, but that was off of 345 attempts. Where did that rank in the NFL? Second. Okay. And I mean, like, the next 4 players under him got more yards with less carries. So he was fine. He just got the ball a lot. Mike Evans was pretty good. 1,100 yards, only 5 touchdowns though, but Laviska Shenault had 1,000 yards as well and 14 touchdowns. Okay. Terrace Marshall, 900 yards, 9 touchdowns. Hunter Henry, 800 yards, but only 3 touchdowns. Miles Sanders, 700 yards, 7 touchdowns. Another 2,000 yard season for him in about 1 million touches. And blocking was overall pretty good. Tristan Wirfs was amazing. Taylor Moton was fine. Ike Ekwonu wasn't great. Austin Corbett was pretty bad. James Schwartz was good though as a rookie. On defense, Shaq Thompson led the team with 123 tackles. Tackles for loss, 14 for Robinson, 11 for Brown, and 10 for Burns. And then sacks, 13 for Brian Burns led the team. 9.5 for Maurice Robinson in year number 2. He definitely had a good year. And then it really falls off after that. Only 5.5 for Overstreet, which isn't terrible. It looks like he didn't play too much. 4.5 for Brown, not great. And only 2 for DJ Johnson in his first year starting. Not great. Definitely definitely want to upgrade there. And then interceptions, 4 for JC Horn, 3 for Thompson and Hall. Definitely looks like that was a good signing, although he had 0 pass deflections. That's not great. 2 interceptions for CJ Henderson, and then 1 for a few players. So overall, very strong year. Some players weren't great, but most were pretty good. Josh Allen wins MVP here. Bryce Young at number 3. Jared Goff up there, good lord. Offensive player of the year does go to Miles Sanders. I called him kind of mid, honestly, but we'll definitely take that. Entirely just got it because he got the ball literally, I think, over 400 times, but we'll take an award win for sure. Defensive player of the year goes to Aaron Donald. Also, wait, was the white boy Cooper Kupp not up here? Did he like switch teams or something, or did he like fucking retire? I don't know. Must just not have been as good this year. But yeah, defensive player of the year goes to Aaron Donald. What team are we? We're the Panthers. No Panthers up there. Offensive rookie of the year goes to Travis Gordon of the Giants. I'm guessing their new QB. Number 1 overall pick, Derek Pearson at number 6. I don't see any Panthers up here though. Defensive rookie of the year goes to John Barkley of the Rams. Carlos Overstreet at number 4. He probably would have been really good if we started him for a full season. I kind of wish we did, to be honest. But of course, in your number 3, again, we went 15-2, which is crazy. But let's see who we're going to be taking on in the divisional. Oh, I can't wait to lose this game. It's the 8-9, 81 overall Arizona Cardinals. This is going to be fun. We have a couple big upgrades here. Brian Burns and JC Horn. Yeah, no biggie. Like 2 of our best defensive players. No biggie there. But I'm going to need to restart my game or it's going to lag like crazy. But let's jump in against the Cardinals and see if we can get a win. All right, here we go in the divisional against the 8-9 Arizona Cardinals. I can't wait to get upset. It's going to be super fun. Also, wait, weren't the Panthers 15-1 when they made the Super Bowl? I think that's what they were. So, I mean, hey, 15-win season, maybe. You never know. We'll see what happens, but we go up early 14-0. We're smoking the Cardinals 23-0 now. Heading into halftime, we get another touchdown. We're up 30-0, 33-0. The Cardinals still haven't scored. They finally get a touchdown, but we're up 33-7. It is much too little too late for them. We win 40-7. Good lord. Okay, we definitely did not get upset there. 2 pretty big upgrades here. Terrace Marshall and Carlos Overstreet. We'll definitely take that. Not as big as the Burns and JC Horn upgrades, but we'll definitely take those 2 starters. And in the conference championship, it's going to be the 9-8 Minnesota Vikings, but they do have a decent team. They're an 85 overall, but we have an 87 overall. We're definitely better than them. And we have the home game, which almost feels like a disadvantage in Madden sometimes, which I don't know why, but that's just how it is. But an upgrade for Hunter Henry there. And let's jump in against the Minnesota Vikings in the conference championship, and hopefully we can get another win. All right, here we go in a rainy game against the Minnesota Vikings. Weird things happen when the weather's weird, but hopefully we can still pull off the win here. This one might be closer than the last one. We go up early 3-0, but it looks like they're going to get a touchdown. They're up 7-3 now, 14-3. Are we about to get destroyed? We put up a field goal. We need a touchdown though. We finally get one. They're up 14-13 though. We're turning the ball over a lot. They get another touchdown. They're up 21-13, now 24-13 in the fourth quarter. We do get a touchdown in the 2-point, but it's not going to be enough as the Vikings win in our stadium 24-21. I called it. Well, I guess we did lose to the eventual Super Bowl champions, which I guess isn't that unbelievable because that was literally the game to get into the Super Bowl, but the Vikings win 38-31 against the Indianapolis Colts. Interesting Super Bowl. It seems like they always are though, to be fair. We have some upgrades here though. 2 for Bryce Young. Really? We'll definitely take that, but for what? He didn't win an award, did he? Unless he won like best QB, but I don't know why that would give him so much. Does it say? Passer rating leader. And yeah, best quarterback. And it gave him X Factor. I didn't even notice that. Okay. There's a chance he could be around a 95 overall by the end of the rebuild. He's the number 6 QB in the NFL currently. I would guess behind Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, probably Herbert, and Lamar. Those are probably the 5 better than him right now, I would guess. Just like the top 5 QBs in the NFL minus maybe Herbert. But we also have an upgrade here for Miles Sanders. Obviously, he won Offensive Player of the Year. I'm guessing he went up to Superstar. He did. Okay. So 2 pretty huge upgrades there to our backfield. Definitely love to see that. That honestly makes this 4th and final year look a lot better. But for re-signings, I honestly think we can wait. We'll let these players test. If we do want to bring Terrace Marshall back, we can just offer him very player friendly and see what happens, but chances are there will be a better player there. So let's get into free agency and hopefully upgrade this team even more. I would say it doesn't need it, but apparently Madden thinks so because we didn't make the Super Bowl, which, you know, we deserved to beat the Vikings there, but I guess the team could technically be a little better, but it's really good right now. All right, well, here's a look at what we're gonna try to do in free agency, at least. Going for some really good players here, better than I thought would be in free agency. I mean, looking at it at face value, like, it doesn't look amazing. There are definitely good players here, but we've seen definitely better. But there are some really good ones that will help out a ton. Devontae Smith, we're gonna try to bring him in. I went very player friendly, even though he is already a little interested in our, joining our team. The problem is the Titans and Jaguars are both very interested too, so we'll see what happens there. Jalen Phillips, I'm iffy on this one, honestly. He doesn't really play super well in Madden most of the time, but he would technically be an overall upgrade. He'll make the team look better, so I don't know. And you never know, he plays well on occasion, we'll say. We're gonna go after Mr. CJ Gardner-Johnson to fucking CD Deuce, goddamn Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. What other names has he gone by? I don't know. He's had this name for like a year now almost, so maybe he finally picked a name. I don't know. But we have the lead for him over the Colts. Obviously, we want a replacement for Von Bell, and I feel like I rarely get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson or CJ Gardner-Johnson, whatever, so we'll go for him. Does have superstar dev here. We're also going to go for Elijah Mitchell to be our number 2 running back, and Rondale Moore is just kind of security in case we don't get security. That's not the right word. Insurance? I don't know, but he's kind of just insurance in case we don't get Devontae Smith. It looks like the Jags are also very interested in him, so we'll see if we can get him. Hopefully we just get Devontae. I would be fine with getting both, I guess, but we're gonna have too many receivers. But hey, it is what it is. Let's see if any of these players sign. They all sign. Oh, you're kidding. What? That's not great. We get Jalen Phillips, we get CJ Gardner-Johnson, and we get Elijah Mitchell, but we don't get either of the receivers. Devontae Smith goes to the Titans, and I'm guessing Rondale Moore went to the Jags. Yeah, and Terrace Marshall signed to the Steelers. I guess we'll go for Elijah Moore, just to have somebody there. The Texans are really interested in him. I mean, if we don't get him, we still have Jonathan Mingo, obviously, so we'll just stick with him, but he's not the highest overall in the world, although I guess he could work. Well, that kind of sucks, to be honest, but it is what it is. You know, since we have money left over, I could go for like a corner or something, honestly. Let's go for DJ Reed. Why not? Let's add another Jets corner. He probably won't sign, but we don't really need a corner, so I don't really care if he doesn't. Well, let's see if DJ Reed or Elijah Moore sign. We get DJ Reed and we get Elijah Moore. Okay, cool. So, I mean, we had to settle for a third option at receiver, but definitely not a terrible option. And now the team is looking fucking nice. And now I don't know what we're gonna draft. Also, this random corner, Herbie Hunter, that's a name, has superstar dev. Did the CPU draft him or something? Yeah, 6th round pick this last year. Okay, I mean, that's cool. He's not really gonna see the field ever, but we'll take a free superstar dev. Why not? But with that, let's see what we can do in the draft. Hopefully something good. All right, well, in the draft, we have the number 30 overall pick. I'm gonna be honest, I tried for a while to trade this pick away for a good player because I don't think we're gonna really draft anyone of value here. I mean, down the road, for sure, they would be valuable eventually, but here, I mean, immediate impacts, I don't really know what we would get. Maybe there's somebody, but especially considering it's the end of the first, it's gonna be hard, unless I'm just completely forgetting a position that we need. Maybe like a, ooh, wait, this tight end could be really good, but do we really need another tight end? I don't know. We already drafted one last year, and he ended up being pretty good. This receiver could be nice, is the fastest receiver available. He could be pretty good. Bobby McGee, we'll think about it. Either that or we go with like a linebacker, because I mean, I guess we could use a depth one. Ethan King looks pretty good. Well, his pursuit's bad. Dog, I don't know. We don't need another fucking receiver. Let's just go Ethan King. Sounds good to me. Normal dev, god damn it. Of course. I'm honestly just gonna simulate this draft out. I mean, whatever the CPU does, the CPU does. We'll see. All right, well, Ethan King is a 72 overall. Cool. The CPU actually did pretty well. They took Tevin Goodson, a running back. He'll be our 3rd string guy, but is definitely, I would be cool with him being the number 2. 74 overall. Definitely looks like a good player. They picked a 73 overall guard named Antoine Stackhouse, which is maybe the best offensive lineman name I have ever heard in my entire life. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Stackhouse is your last name as a lineman. That's ridiculous. That's not real. Well, I guess it technically isn't real because it's Madden, but you know what I mean. I mean, these videos are definitely real, and this is definitely real life. Can't break the fourth wall. Mikey McDingle is a real human. I wonder if there is someone named Mikey McDingle. Wait, that would be kind of crazy. I doubt they would look anything like Mikey McDingle, but maybe. But overall, we had a decent draft. It wouldn't have really helped us regardless, but with that, let's get into year number 4, and hopefully things can be better this year. We'll see. I mean, they were great last year, but hopefully we can go maybe win a Super Bowl. We'll see. All right, here is a look at the team heading into the 4th and final year of the rebuild. Obviously, a really good looking team. I'm surprised it's only an 86 because this team is nice. We have Bryce Young up to an X Factor 90 overall. Miles Sanders at a 91 with Superstar. We obviously added Mike Evans. We added Elijah Moore this year. No changes on the offensive line this year, but it is a very good looking group. And I mean, it's still 3 Panthers on the line here. I mean, it's mostly the Panthers here. I mean, Laviska Shenault's still here, Bryce Young, Miles Sanders, the few guys I mentioned on the offensive line. Like, it still resembles the Panthers for sure. And then on defense, oh yeah, we added CJ Gardner-Johnson and Jalen Phillips this offseason. So 2 pretty big upgrades there. Hopefully those can work out. Hopefully they both play well. Oh yeah, and DJ Reed. So pretty big upgrades here on defense, up to an 85 overall defense. I don't know how the Madden overall system works because I don't know how an 88 plus an 85 equals an 86. Well, yeah, I guess so. That would be like 86.75 or something. So yeah, but either way, this is a very good looking team. Still got a decent amount of Panthers here. I mean, JC Horn, Derek Brown, CJ Henderson, who's like a borderline starter, I guess. Brian Burns, Shaq Thompson, Jeremy Chin. Like, we definitely did some stuff to change this team, but I mean, the Panthers have a pretty good core of younger players, so it definitely worked out pretty well. But with that, let's just get straight to the end of year number 4, and hopefully we can do well. All right, well, here's a look at the team at the end of year number 4. We're up to an 89 overall. I know something that y'all don't, but we're looking good in terms of team overall, and that's really all I can do. I can't control how fucking terrible Madden simulation is. We have Bryce Young up to a 95 overall. Overall, the offense is looking very good, and then on defense, also very good. We have JC Horn up to a 92 overall, playing -1 for some reason. I don't know. Robinson up to an 86 with morale. Brian Burns up to a 94 with morale. Overall, the team is looking very good. I'll show you all the season stats super quick, but Bryce Young just straight up wasn't that great for Madden terms. I mean, in real life, this would be a really good season. Still a lot of picks though, but 5,000 yards, 35 touchdowns, 16 picks. Really good completion percentage. Miles Sanders, 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns, but only 3.9 yards per carry. Not great. Laviska Shenault with 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. Mike Evans, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. Elijah Moore, almost 1,000 yards too with 10 touchdowns. Blocking was really good. Honestly, Ike Ekwonu and James Schwartz weren't great, but the rest of them were. I think our problem was the defense. Shaq Thompson led the team with 135 tackles. Tackles for loss, 17 from Brown, 12 from Robinson, 10 from Phillips, and then sacks, 11.5 from Maurice Robinson, only 8.5 from Brian Burns, but that's not terrible. 8 from Jalen Phillips, 8 from Carlos Overstreet. We got some pretty good pressure. Only 1.5 from Derek Brown, though. In interceptions, we had 2 for Jordan Brooks, Shaq Thompson, DJ Reed, and JC Horn, and then 1 for a few players. MVP went to Josh Allen. I don't think we're going to see any Panthers, no. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Chris Godwin, Miles Sanders at 3. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Aaron Donald. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Chris Darby of the Falcons. And Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Jamichael Spencer of the Commanders. But in year number 4, with an 89 overall team, might I add, we finished 7-10. And I wouldn't even say it was fully on the defense that we were terrible. I mean, we were still the 20th offense in the NFL, in terms of scoring at least. We were 28th for defense, so we definitely could have used a new playbook there. But we had a great year on defense last year, so I was like, yeah, we probably don't need to change it. And then this happens. So, unfortunate ending, but there's only so much I can do. I mean, I can't control the simulation. I can only control the team. And I think we built a, ridiculous team. This is one of the best teams we have ever built at an 89 overall. So again, unfortunate ending, but I did what I could. I hope y'all enjoyed still. If you did, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that, so you can catch more of these videos videos and be an OG of the channel, and all that helps push these more to more people. That's not English, but you know what I mean. No, well, it kinda is. I don't know. Either way, 250 likes, 3250 subs, and I'll have another special one of these out. But as always, I hope y'all enjoyed, and with that, I'll see y'all again in the next video. Goodbye.